Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. The purchase and pricing question email line from you to me and my hand-picked crew with your questions about buying this or any watch you see here on Watchbox Reviews. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com. And today we're discussing my favorite new Rolex of 2019. This is the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Yacht-Master. This is the 226659, 42 millimeters in white gold. It features the Oysterflex strap bracelet in a beautifully proportioned 42 millimeter white gold case. Now 42 millimeters in diameter, the watch is slim, 11.7 millimeters thick, so it's a full half a millimeter thinner than a Daytona. From lug to lug it measures 50.3 millimeters, and it has a 21 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Let's quickly show the watch on the wrist, and then we'll talk about the hardware and the software and the hybridization of the two. Now on the wrist it's broad and flat, elegant, graceful. Because it's only 50 millimeters lug to lug, it does wear well on a wrist as small as 14 centimeters in circumference. Because it's flush, it fits underneath any cuff, and it has a handsome and sleek two-tone look, all white and black. It's sinister. Now, the Oysterflex bracelet, and it is a bracelet, and that is its name, is an interesting piece because externally it's vulcanized rubber and it is closely drilled to the case to create that integrated look of a Rolex on a bracelet. It even has a central molded spline to look like a Rolex Oyster bracelet. You can see it's branded on its flank and it's vulcanized rubber on the outside, but it's made of titanium alloy on the inside so it can never snap. You'll also note that there are bellows on the underside to cinch it down to the wrist and assure a close and secure fit, but also to create an air pocket so the wrist can breathe more easily. The clasp and the watch are made in Rolex's own foundry, and Rolex makes its clasps, its cases, it even makes its own gold, and it uses gray gold, which is white straight through. Unlike regular white gold, which is milky yellow and then rhodium plated, this is white straight through and never needs to be plated. As you can see, there's a double locking system. In the clasp, you have the lift lock system. There's a beak and a hook, so those will actually lock and then you clamshell it. Inside, we've come a long way from the original 40 millimeter Oysterflex Yacht-Master. As you can see, we have substantial adjustability in 2 millimeter increments by means of a Glidelock system that's similar to what you'll find in the Submariner. So the timepiece, folding shut, and again, because it is a bracelet and you can't cut it through, you do want to get the right size of the Oysterflex at the time of purchase. Now this is not quite the super case. I expected a super case Yacht-Master, and that's not what we got. As you can see, the case is still, and by the way, it has no marks on it. These are all my fingerprints. The case features tapered lugs and a sinuous, graceful, compound curved flank that's very similar to the Daytona and the standard Yacht-Master. So you can see it's graceful, handsome, and in spite of its size, there's nothing ungainly about it. Handsome, crown guard structure, a white gold triplock crown. You know that because it has the big center dot and the small flanking dots. That would be inverted if it were platinum. 100 meters water resistant, but with a triplock crown, I'll bet unofficially it's more. You have a bidirectional rotating white gold bezel that's used for timing the countdown to the start of a regatta, but you'll note it is a count up bezel, bidirectional because it's not a dive instrument. The Cerachrom is matte finished and media blasted, but the numerals and the indices are actually polished, raised, and relieved. Now this is a wonderful way to time anything. I prefer these to chronographs because they're easier to read and you don't have the downstream maintenance costs. The dial is black lacquer, and as you can see, this is a current generation Rolex. It has the little crown between Swiss and made. White gold oversized indices with blue Chromalight lume, all of this white gold to prevent oxidation over time. The Rolex Cyclops Eye is a controversial piece to many, but almost all agree that it wears well on bigger dials. So with a 42 millimeter case and a larger dial, the Cyclops Eye does not quite monopolize the watch. It doesn't monopolize the watch face. A solid white gold case back, which adds substantially to the mass of the case, and inside Rolex's 3-day power reserve, 70 hours, caliber 3235 with the new Liga-formed Chronergy escapement that is effectively Rolex's answer to the Omega coaxial. You've got the 70-hour power reserve, automatic winding, bidirectional. This one uses a bearing rather than the old jeweled staff, so like the Daytona caliber, it's more shock resistant than the old 3135. It beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It pivots on 31 jewels. It features for shock resistance a full balance bridge and a free sprung index. It features for anti-magnetism a niobium zirconium blue oxidized Cerachrom blue anti-magnetic hairspring, and the hairspring is a handmade Breguet overcoil that allows the watch to keep excellent time in any orientation with respect to gravity. The better to help the watch earn the COSC chronometer test. Rolex takes the chronometer certified movement, cases it up, tests it in 6, not the chronometer 5 positions, but 6 positions, and guarantees it will run +2 -2 seconds per day or better. That's over 24 hours, hence the basis for that term superlative chronometer. The timepiece is 100 meters water resistant, and again it features stop seconds and a quick set date, so it has all of the toys and the modern standards. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of this Yacht-Master 42 white gold. And we're back with the Yacht-Master 42, Rolex proprietary Chromalight blue loom, all 3 hands loomed, oversized indices.